She was having a lot of success early on, right? It seemed like she had the better of the opening rounds, and you had to dig deep and make some adjustments. So what changed over the course of the final few rounds that you were able to start getting the upper hand?
I think for me it was just honestly an adjustment within a couple of inches. You know, the difference in, you know, being a little bit further back and reserved and kind of trying to fight on the outskirts versus just kind of biting down, sitting in a little bit deeper and like intruding on her space, you know, and just deciding, all right, let's go forward.
It was clear that it was a battle back and forth, but later in the rounds, in the latter rounds, it seemed like you were smiling a little bit, even though you had taken some damage. Can you remember kind of what was going through your head as you're in this grueling battle, but you're smiling?
It's a fight, you know, it's a fight. This is what we love to do, and I think everybody has that within themselves. It's like fight or flight. I always remember being in like sport karate and getting, you know, kicked in the face and just seeing the blood come down and, you know, seeing the blood and, you know, not wanting to retreat, but actually wanting to move forward. And sometimes you just have to get hit to feel that way. Like, all right, let's go. You know, this is a fight.
Of course, you know, you never know what the judges are going to see. But as far as you and your team, when it came time to read the decision, how did you feel? Did you think you'd done enough to win, or were you a little worried?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, after the third, after the takedown, I feel like the tides changed. I felt like I was the aggressor. I was the one, you know, in her face, pushing the pace. And landing the harder shots.
Last thing for me, where do you want to go from here? I mean, obviously that was a big win, high-profile victory over a tough opponent. Imagine you kind of want to rest a little bit after this, and like you said, enjoy the family. But what's the next move for you?
The goal has always been to fight for the belt. You know, I've been chomping away at this for a really long time, and I want to get there. You know, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like I'm like chipping away, and I can't turn around. I just gotta keep going forward.
Angela, I'm sure heartbroken right now. I imagine didn't get the result that you're hoping for, but give us the feel right now, the emotion after a battle like that.
Man, I wish I could get one more round. Yeah, it sucks, man. I keep ending up in this position where like I put my all into, you know, getting the finish and to getting the decision, and it just doesn't go my way. I definitely felt like I did more damage in the fight. I knew I lost the third round because I couldn't get up, and I felt bad about kicking her in the face, but I was aiming for the chest. And then the fourth, I kind of didn't go forward enough. I was worried about the takedown a little too much, and then the fifth, I finally said fuck it and went forward and did everything that I should have done in the fourth round, and I still didn't get that fifth round, so it sucks. It was close. I felt like this fight was a lot closer than the Gedalia fight when it came to just like strikes landed, just because she was landing some push kicks to the face and a couple like side kicks when I was hesitating. So I thought this fight was closer than the last one, but I tried to blitz her. I felt like I did way more damage, and it sucks that I'm on the losing end again. I got to start taking bitches down and hugging them more.
How much do you worry about your fighters who at least say on paper that they're retired, but they have a little bit more in the gas tank, meaning that they could come back and fight again, and perhaps they can get themselves into circumstances where they can get into a whole bunch of trouble?
Listen, whether you're retired or not retired, you can get yourself into trouble. I don't know enough about the Conor situation. I don't know about it. I know what you've read. I've read the same things. Conor is retired. I haven't talked to him. I'm sure he doesn't need my help or advice, but if he did, he can call. I don't really know how to answer that question. Listen, Cejudo's got a lot in the gas tank too. He could definitely fight again. But I think when you have a guy like Conor and Cejudo that have done it for a long time and cut weight, dieting, all the bullshit you go through, and then you make a lot of money, just don't feel like doing it anymore. A lot of people don't think Conor's really done. He's just whatever. I don't know the answer to that question either, but we'll see.
John Jones has been in town. Have you guys had a meeting, or is he just here for the PI?
No, I haven't.
Just to ask you about Conor, though, we obviously nobody knows really what happened, but what do you think of the fact that he puts himself in those situations to have these allegations, even if he didn't do anything? There's a lot of celebrities out there that are going to nightclubs that are doing things that aren't having this happen, and he's getting accused and accused and accused.
Let me tell you this. So one time when Conor blew up and Conor was massive, he showed up one time at the venue with so much security. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Nobody needs this much security. This kid's going to blow all his money just on security. Then me and Lorenzo met up with him one night. And holy shit. It's just, you just don't understand how big this kid is till you go out with him. He was literally getting mobbed. Like, people were going crazy, screaming, jumping up from blackjack tables, leaving their money there and running after Conor, and it was some crazy shit. I'd never seen anything like that. And you guys have to realize that things, imagine what it's like with him in Europe. There were like old people freaking out when he would walk by. It wasn't just like young people. Old people were freaking out too. And I don't know, that kind of a life, crazy shit happens when you're in that type of lifestyle. And you try to go out and you try to act normal and you try to be normal, and it's hard to do sometimes. I'm not defending Conor in any way, shape, or form. I don't know enough about the situation to talk about it at all. But I do know I've gone out with him publicly before, and it is batshit nuts.
Well, you get batshit nuts, right?
Not even close. But when I walk around, it's fucking not even close. Not even in the same universe. Close. No, not even close.
Nick, he's your friend. Do you think this is more about money? Do you think this is more about competition? What do you think is spurring this return potentially for Nick?
I think both, because I think he actually was burnt out for a while. He took a long break and was out, as everyone knows, without partying. I think he was really sick and burnt out of the sport. He had never really had a break since he was like 16. It's all he knew was fighting. So I think he really actually needed that mental break. But last time I talked to him, he was back in the gym and seemed to really want to fight again. I think the only sticking point is probably money, because he knows that he is a big star and wants to get paid. He doesn't like to get ripped off and taken advantage of. And like we all know, people are going to tune in for a Nick Diaz pay-per-view. Dana can act like it's not, but everyone knows, everyone wants to watch the fight.
Has there been a concern for at least yourself personally with the partying and some of the things you've heard from Nick over the last 5 or so years?
I think there was one point where maybe he got a little out of control, but we knew he would rein back in. Because Nick, see, a lot of us, we were all, I've been partying since I was like 14. So for me, it's like I have a fight party. It was normal. Nick, never drank, never did anything other than smoke pot, obviously. But, he was completely just a dedicated, just train. So I think when he did kind of go that way, for a minute, he got a little too out of control, but now he's reined it back in. I think he's got that part of his life over. He's not out in Vegas all the time anymore. He's back training, and I think we're seeing the old Nick coming back. But unfortunately, he's got to bring back, Nick needs to be angry to fight, so he has to bring back a little of that anger. So hopefully he's able to do that. And maybe Stockton's the place for him to be. It's an angry town, so I think it might be better to make him be out there a while instead of Vegas. It is great. I'm glad he's finally enjoying life and having fun, but when he wants to fight, he needs to isolate himself again and probably go back to where people are a little meaner and a little harder.